Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead, and we're in the kitchen tonight. And Angela Kay is cooking up something good using some peppers and some tomato sauce, or some spaghetti sauce that she made last year. Some canned, by the way. So some frozen peppers we grew, some spaghetti sauce that she made, some eggs, probably somewhere or another that we got from our chicken. So hey, we're using some stuff we cooked today over here making spaghetti pie. Let's take it to the stove.
Okay, to make this spaghetti pie, you need to start by preheating your oven to 350 degrees. And now, in this pan, I have browning a ½ pound of ground beef and a ½ pound of sausage. You can do all sausage, you can do all ground beef, or you can do a combo of the two like I did. And I salted and peppered it just to taste. And I'm using a mix and chop to chop it up so that it's nice and fine. If you don't know what a mix and chop is, it looks like a medieval torture device, and it helps break up your meat. And we will leave a link in the description below to one. They're a wonderful thing. So now that your hamburger and your sausage is almost brown, I'm going to add a ½ cup of chopped onion, and I'm going to add about a ½ cup or a little more of our frozen green bell peppers from last year. You can use any type of peppers you want, or if you don't like peppers, then you don't have to put them in. It will be good without them. It will be better with them. So now you're going to mix in your peppers and your onions and fry those until they're nice and tender and your onions are translucent and all your meat is done. And while this is browning and while this is cooking, I will take you over to the island and I will show you how to make the crust. It's kind of a crust. We'll call it a crust. Okay. Over here we have a 9.5 inch glass pie plate. And we're going to go ahead and spray it down because you want to make sure this doesn't stick. So spray it down really good. In this bowl we have a ½ pound, which is a ½ box of cooked spaghetti. I spared you the boring details of cooking the spaghetti because I figure all of you know how to make spaghetti. And to this we are adding 3 tablespoons of salted butter. The spaghetti is still very warm. It's not hot, but it's still very warm because you want it to melt your butter. And your butter will help finish cooling it off before you add the rest of the ingredients for your crust. Okay, our butter is now melted into our spaghetti. And now we are going to add some good grinds of black pepper. You don't have to do this part, but I like the pepper in it. And I know this is going to sound a little odd, but you're going to add 2 beaten eggs. And you want to beat them up just a little bit and pour them into your spaghetti. This is going to help bind it to make it more like a crust instead of just spaghetti. So mix your egg in just a little bit. And now we are going to add a ½ cup or more, if you know me, of Parmesan cheese. You guys know me and cheese. We're best friends. Well, other than Jason. Jason's my best friend. You're supposed to say something there, Jason.
Sorry, I'm asleep.
You're supposed to tell me I'm your best friend, too.
Sorry. I'm your best friend too.
Okay, now we're going to take our crust and we're going to pour it into our pie plate. And break everything out of there. And now we are going to press it in to our pie plate. And press it up the sides and make it into a crust. And sometimes it's best to use the tools God gave you. And I'm just going to use the tools God gave me and press it in to your crust. Well, to your pan, not to your crust. This is your crust. Sheesh. And now, there we go. We got a good little indentation in there. And that's your crust. Now we'll go back over to the stove and see what's going on with the meat. Okay, as you can tell, our onions are translucent, our peppers are nice and tender, and our meat's done. So now if there's any excess grease, you'll want to drain it off, but as you can see, there's not really any excess grease there, so I don't need to do that. So now I'm going to add a pint of our home canned spaghetti sauce. If you don't have home canned, you can use store-bought. Use about 2 cups. So now we are going to mix this in. And as you can see, it's already looking good. Already smelling good too.
Yeah, it does. Smells really good.
And at this point, you will want to taste it for salt and pepper to see if you need to add any salt or pepper. And then you will let it cook for about 5 minutes until your sauce starts to thicken around your meat. Okay, we have our nice tightly pressed down crust. You want it tightly pressed down. That way it'll actually make a crust when it bakes. Now, we also have our meat and our sauce done. Now I'm going to take a little bit more Parmesan cheese. And this is just like some good glue, just to kind of seal your crust and ensure that it does become a crust. And that's just about a couple of tablespoons maybe. Now you want to take your meat mixture and you want to put it into the hole that you created. And you want to spread it out nicely into the hole. You want to leave that rim of your crust because it is a crust. Now you want to sprinkle on 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. The best part of anything. Now, we are going to add just a little bit more Parmesan cheese just to help in browning and for a little bit more flavor as well. And now we're going to pop this into our 350-degree oven. This should only take about 20 to 25 minutes until your crust is set and your cheese is melted and everything's bubbly. It's been in the oven about 20 minutes and it's out of the oven. And as you can see, it's bubbling.
That's awesome looking. Smells great.
It does smell wonderful. You want to let this sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes to let it rest, let the crust set up more, and let it cool down a little, because otherwise you are going to burn your pie hole.
But it'll get a better slice if you let it sit for a little bit.
You will get a much better, you will actually be able to slice it like a pie if you let it sit long enough.
Alright, we're back. Hopefully I've let it cool long enough so I don't burn my silly mouth. But I've had this before, so I tell you, I know it's good, but I'm going to take a bite. It's still steaming. I'm going to hurt myself. And if I don't quit throwing food on the floor. I'm going to blow on it real good. Nothing worse than taking a bite of food and it harming you physically when you eat it. You can't really enjoy it that way. Wow. You know, I had this before, but this is easily the best time ever. Easily bar none. So delicious. It sets up well. It's a good bite. A great way to use stuff that we've made, that we've grown and produced ourselves here. You know, creative, unique, delicious. And we appreciate you guys watching. Alright. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the bell for notifications. We do love you guys so much. We appreciate you guys for watching. God bless you, and goodbye.